Hey there, welcome back to Q Health Podcast. I'm Ashley and Martin, the hostess with so much love for you listening. Q Health is here to help you take the right action for your health, healing, and well being. We are on part three of keeping the human in humanity, and we are talking about connection today. Just like your Wi Fi allows you to be on the internet and get things done online, human connection is important. It allows us to get things done. When we don't have Wi-Fi or an internet connection, it's just not possible for us to use the internet, right? Unless you have a hotspot or you have some other fancy technical gadget that allows you to get on the internet without it. Regardless, our connections matter, and what matters even more is being connected to the right people. And might I add, being the right people for who we are connected to. In this episode, again, we will be wrapping up keeping the human in humanity with connection. Question for thought. Is there a difference between a connection and a relationship? Are relationships a part of your connections or connections a part of your relationships? Are they the same thing? Connection is defined as a link, an association. The answer to that question could depend on the depth of your relationship or even the level of access one has to another. Remember, our connections matter more than we think sometimes. And if there is a difference between connection and relationship for you, just know that how we treat people, regardless of how you define it, matters more than you think. Why is that so? Well, one, we're not islands. We were not put here to be alone, right? We're in community and to do life with each other. It's just how we do life. If you are making something, there's something that you need from the store. Somebody created something, packaged something for you to get the items that you need to make whatever it is that you make. The bread, the cake, the salad, the steak. We were not put here by ourselves. We must work together in communities to get things done. Secondly, communities connected and united around the right things and the good things is a very good thing. It's a very good thing for many different reasons. It's very good when we're connected and we're not disjointed and we're not disgruntled with each other. But when we're connected and united, that's when fruitfulness can happen. That's when really good things can happen. A lot of good things can happen. And remember, our connections allow things to work. It allows things to flow, to function, to maneuver. When things are disjointed, it's difficult to get things done. Even if you have a gadget or a device that requires, let's say, a nut or a bolt or a screw, right? One missing nut, one missing screw, one missing bolt can throw the whole thing off. There are things big and small and medium sized that all come together to help things work. Remember, our connections matter. It helps everything flow together. One little thing off can mess the whole thing up. It's best when things are flowing. Things can work together. Now, there are times when disconnecting is important. It is best. It's necessary. And there are times when it's poor, right? Consider when your device is acting up and you might need a reset because it is not being cooperative, or there's something going on in the environment, or there's something going on in a tower, or there's something going on the internet. When it's not working, you need to do something. If something's not working, you have to do something. And sometimes that's that forced restart. That's that forced reset. So that things can reboot, recalibrate, and get back to working the way that it needs to. You may have to call a technician. You may have to call for support or backup. And they'll probably ask you, did you try disconnecting your wire? Did you try resetting or rebooting? Or they'll instruct you to. And it's no different in our connections and our relationships. There are times when we honestly have to disconnect to reconnect. Sometimes we have to say, okay, I have to press the hard stop here, reset, reboot, recalibrate, so I can reconnect. And so things can start working and flowing and functioning in the way that they should. And oftentimes, if not almost all the time, this works. Sometimes it's the hardware, and you have to look at something differently, right? Sometimes it's the hardware or the software, and something may have a virus on it or something may be glitchy, and it needs a different solution. But you still do what you need to do in order for things to reconnect and work properly and get back up and running again. So we humans are not too much different in this respect, and that sometimes we need to disconnect to reconnect, right? And so, what do you do when you want a connection with somebody and that connection is missing, and that connection is needed or wanted? What do you do when it's not there? Well, first, press and practice the pause. Think about what it is that you're missing. Think about why it's missing. Think about why it's needed or why it's wanted or both, right? And then what could be the needs and wants of the other party, the other person you want to be connected to, or desire to be connected to, or want to have a new connection with, right? So your relationships that are already in place don't grow stagnant. What could be missing? Sometimes things just happen. That's just how it is. Things just happen, things develop, things evolve, things grow. And that's not a bad thing. And then there are times where there's intentionality required, again, in order for those relationships to flourish in the manner in which they should be purposed, and those connections to flourish in the manner in which they should be purposed to. And what's the purpose? Ultimately, you want to always, ask yourself, what's the purpose of this? Connections often come with purpose, whether they're great or whether they're small or everything in between. They come with a purpose. So sit with it, think about it, and let's keep the human and humanity with connection. If you know someone who could benefit from hearing and putting any of these to use, do not hesitate to share with them. Sharing is caring, and if something has worked for you and for others, I want to hear. I'd love to hear. So you can leave your comments on YouTube, or if you're on Spotify, reach out in a different way. Until next time.